Hello guys, it's Ivan here checking in, and as always, first things first, hope you guys are well. Second, today's video I'm going to build on, just add something more on yesterday's video, which is very crucial, very important. Yesterday's video was basically why you're the problem. That's its title. Go check it out, or check it out after this video. Definitely worth checking out. Now, in yesterday's video, the last point that I made was choose a destination and start going that way. Now, if we just consider that by definition, if you choose a different destination and start working on yourself, you're guaranteed to arrive on a different in a different future, right? Compared to what you were destined to arrive at if you keep doing on the same thing. Right? If you keep on doing the same thing, it's like doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, which is by definition, according to Einstein, insane, right? But by actively choosing a different destination and start walking that way, you're obviously going to arrive to a different future, which then means that there's an infinite number of destinations you can choose, and it doesn't matter which one you choose, because as long as you're not doing the same thing over and over again, you're bound to arrive to a different future, right? Now, that's all well and good, but before you go ballistic and, going to choose all the interesting things that you might think of choosing, personally, I would like to advise you to choose something that's more in alignment with who you are and your reality and your perception. Because there's one interesting quote that, I don't know if it's R.S.D. Tyler who actually came up with it, or he read it somewhere as well. And R.S.D. Tyler is like one of these pickup artist guy who teaches guys how to pick up women. You can check him out if you want. Definitely worth it. But he said this really interesting quote, which is basically picking up women. And by the way, the whole pickup thing, the R.S.D. thing, there's a lot more to it than just picking up women. Obviously, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's more underwater, right? You can go check it out. Definitely worth it. Now, he says picking up women is not what you do. Because most men come in with the mindset, can you tell me what can I say, what conversation to have, how to turn it sexual, how to escalate, how to touch her so she loves me, how to make her chase me, whatever. But what they don't realize, they're coming in with the wrong mindset that what do I do? It's not what you do, but more like who you are as a person. Because let's face it, women are not attracted to a guy who's seeking approval from them. They want a man who actually owns who they are, and that just basically means you know who you are and you know what you want. They want someone who embodies that, who actually lives that, as opposed to someone who's just faking it. And when you fake it, they will obviously know because you're bullshitting it. But anyway, that's a good example as to the mindset to have when you're approaching this. But yeah, the whole point I want to talk about this authenticity thing. It's because obviously, like I said, it's supposed to be who you are as opposed to what you do. You can choose to have two different approaches. There's a few different approaches to this. Now, if you think about it in terms of, actually, before I get into that, what I nearly forgot to mention is, for those obviously who don't know who they are, or who haven't really figured out how to be congruent in and out, and who haven't gone through that journey of self-discovery and being okay with who they are, you need to do that first. Obviously, that should be the first destination you set before you start embarking on deeper journeys that may require you to have this core first. So first get on that, achieve it, and then from there build on that. That should be your first destination you set, and set yourself a time period so you don't have to waste a lot of time on it. Just do it right. Don't cut corners, because it won't stick. Whatever you're throwing on the wall won't stick if you're cutting corners. Mix the mud quite well so when you throw it, it sticks. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So I was saying there's different approaches to this. If you can choose a destination with that's something that you're gonna have to fake. For example, if you think about two marketing guys, one of them is doing the Tyler Perry sort of thing, sort of routine, where obviously in the start he doesn't have enough to convince people to buy stuff, so he has to borrow it. He has to borrow the expensive cars and the mansions so to film the videos, for example, and start telling people, showcasing his cars and his houses prices so he can invite people to buy his material so they become as rich as he is, right? Or you, on the other hand, you have a different businessman who chooses to be authentic, to come from a place where he's actually setting aside his ego, he's setting aside his love for money, he's setting aside he's setting aside what he wants and putting the customer first, connecting with them first, having a relationship with them, being vulnerable with them, showing them his he's not exactly perfect. He's come from where they're at, if that makes sense. And this can be through YouTube videos or Facebook or these sorts of social media links that are free. So he connects with the customers by giving them free, or customer subscribers, followers, by giving them free material that's useful to them. And all of this stuff like this. So in essence, building a relationship with them first before he starts to ask for money from them. So who do you think is gonna succeed? Who do you think is gonna convince the customers more to invest in him or to buy his stuff? Personally, I think it's the guy who's taking the time to actually build a relationship with the customers first. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Tyler Perry's way of doing it is wrong or doesn't work. It does, because obviously he's made the money. He's actually made it. He faked it until he's made it. No offense to him or anything, just saying. But you guys get the point. Again, attracting or, doing something very well or attracting someone or something is not something that you do, but more like who you are. So it's, in my opinion, it's a lot better to do something that you're congruent with, because as much as you have to do the work, because obviously there's work that you have to do, whatever it is that you're trying to get into, but it's a lot, the work that you put in like 40%, and then it produces 60% results if you're congruent with what you're doing, and you don't have to try so hard, as opposed to if you're faking it, because then you have to try twice as much to convince the customers that you actually own all of this shit that you actually don't. Again, choice is yours. Everyone dreams, everyone wants to be rich, but not everyone lives the dream. Not everyone is willing to persevere through the hard times to actually get there. So, thank you guys. If you like this video, feel free to tickle the like button and subscribe for more stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video.